Yeah, yeah. And I guess I'm gonna call this the 8 a.m. show. Not to be stealing ideas from Jason Black, because he's the one that got those two movies, 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. And I never checked them out though. I did check out two or three of the Tariq Nasheed movies. I didn't get to watch Microphone Check yet, and I'll be looking out for it. I'm trying to get back into my documentary movie watching mode, but y'all know I like the game. I like to play a little video game and or cards or you know chess, whatever suits your fancy. Because I'm willing to log in online and play it with you. Um, and there it is. But my format with this show presentation, I like to call them programs, is to share what I see as black media. And today I'm gonna share a little black truth. All right, Professor Black Truth, should I say? Yeah, most of the people I shared Tim Black yesterday or the day before, and Tim Black is one that I always share all the time. Did I just say Tim Black? But they all use it, Black as their name, and it's to say that they be one. It's not throw up a fist Black Power necessarily. It's not pro blackity black. Like that's an old term. B1 means we were here from the beginning. That's what B1 means. Um, Black first, should I say? Why are we putting, you know, others ahead of our needs, et cetera, et cetera? Especially when this the wealth gap, for example. Um, there is a wealth gap where, and just in housing, where 79% of white families have homes where black families are at like 40% or so home ownership, and home ownership is very important when it comes to um, the government and how it functions and how our country functions as a society um, that's trying to be anti-socialism, but we'll get into more ideas and explanations between capitalism, the differences between capitalism and socialism, and what does that have to do with conservatism and liberalism and all of the isms, or the quote, every ism is a schism. Who's that? His name will hit me in a minute. My fault. The mind is just everywhere right now. So, but yeah, I just this is my little prologue. I freestyle it because hip hop is an American culture created by the children of the 1960 civil rights movement. 1960 to 1979, I say that's the Generation X. That's Gen X. That's who we are. We are the children, right? Uh, Anybody born before 69, yeah, they baby boomers. And as, I give respect to the baby boomers. But at the same time, I look at the baby boomers and I say, y'all know Spike Lee needs help. You know what I'm saying? Ice T, needs help. Um, they cool. I love Ice T. Ice T. I used to listen to Ice T. Ron Pays when going to high school. So Ice T's he's like and he gives credit to Schoolie D as being the original gangster rapper. Schoolie D out of Philadelphia. Shout out to him. But I can give shout out to MCs and groups all day. Especially my five, which I start off with Rakim and end with number five with Karis One. But we'll get into my list and all that other stuff later on too. Um, and why is these things that I'm saying important? Because I was reminded of Black Cop yesterday, especially when watching that Tim Black. Um, that's the song off of the Return of the Boom Bat. That's the most famous song off of that album is Sound of the Police. Whoop whoop, that's the sound of the police. Whoop whoop, that's the sound of the beast. Whoop whoop, that's the sound of the police. Whoop whoop, that's the sound of the beast. Classic boom bap right there. And then Black Cop was like a B side song on it. Even though it might have been on the A side, it didn't really like A and B didn't matter when once D CDs came out. And black cop, black cop, black cop, black cop, stop shooting black people, we all gonna drop. You don't even get paid a whole lot. So take that M16, put it on lock. Take that Uzi, put it on lock. Black cop, black cop, black cop. 30 years ago, there were no black cops. 60 years ago, there were no black cops. You couldn't even run, drive round the block. Recently, police trained black cops to stand on the corner and take gunshots. Classic Harris one right there. And he that came out at the height of the 90s. So that's why we were a little confused on the 90s being the complete downfall of the culture. Um, but it was the downfall politically. Like we helped Jesse Jackson to try to be the president in '88 and '89. That's when the attack began because he didn't win. So he started to attack the hip hop culture with the Rainbow Coalition, and that's where the gayness started, and linking our culture to the LGBTQIA plus dot. DEI is included with the PDF files of political nonsense that Barack Obama started because we idiocracy, idiots, like idiots, we supported Barack Obama with things like vote or die, and turned it out. So yes, hip hop is responsible for Barack Obama, and Barack Obama linked us to um, sexual deviant organization. It's not even a real organization. The LGBT it's not, and that's why you're seeing them is broken apart now, and that's why you see lesbians calling themselves gays now, and gays being CEOs of corporations and using the rainbow flag to promote more false pride, and at the same time blame the traditional patriarchal family household that we need so much very badly in the black community. So, but that's my rant, I guess, being semi-political, but I'm just spitting the truth on how I see it and how we do need to revisit the family, fatherhood of God and the brotherhood of man. Period. There it is. It's not hard to understand. You can say motherhood of God and sisterhood, or sisterhood of what would it be, of mother, of mother kind. A lot of issues going on because you're saying when you put two women together, Miss Boulay is one. For example, she stepped forward as being Miss Boulay of the 92%. So she tries to act like she's independent, but you already announced that you're with the 92%. Um, Condoleezza Rice is a Boulay too, and she's no, that whole Biden thing was stupid, and that's where the whole issue has become with men in the Democratic Party, and that's all that Professor Black Truth is about to reinforce with some new definitions, new words that I'm gonna start adding to the lexicon to help with the understanding of modern day political colloquialisms. So we'll get more into all those words and definitions and how they work, and show that is more to it than just pointing at somebody and saying that they're spewing rhetoric. There's an art of logical thinking, or a law of reasoning behind political ideology, and just general mathematics. When devising axioms, theorems, definitions, et cetera, et cetera. That's how you put the dot 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 QED at the end of a proof. But we'll get more into that. We're still in the first phases of it. I like my little clock thing, but I can see it has advertisements on it, so I gotta pay for it to get it off the free version. But I'm gonna go straight into it. I already talked. How long did I talk there? 10 minutes, too much. This video is only like 7 minutes, and then I'm gonna wrap it up, with a little bit of gameplay, I guess, and wish y'all a good day. So here it is. I hope y'all enjoy it. Pay attention, and the link will be in the description on where to get his content. So I'll be right back.
If you're not already subscribed to this YouTube channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button now, along with the bell icon so you can be notified whenever a new video is posted. And if you're already subscribed, check and make sure that YouTube hasn't unsubscribed you. And of course, be sure to give the video a like as well as share it on your social media. The white supremacists hate that. And now, the Sunday Address. One of the things you've heard me say for nearly 20 years is that it matters who you get your news and views from. It matters who you choose to listen to and who you choose to watch. For many years, many decades now at this point, the black media has been telling you that these people you see online who mindlessly praise the Democrats without ever making any demands for us, that these people are all paid shills. Perhaps what we need to do is to define terms. Why do we call them shills? Well, do you know what a shill is? Cambridge.org defines shill as someone who helps another person to persuade people to buy something, especially by pretending to be a satisfied customer. But I think the Urban Dictionary has a better definition. A shill is defined as a person engaged in covert advertising. The shill attempts to spread buzz by personally endorsing the product in public forums with the pretense of sincerity, when in fact he is being paid for his services. That's definitely a shill, all right. Now, based on those definitions, what would you call an online podcaster or content creator who tells you to support a particular political party, but who doesn't tell you that they're getting paid to do it? Instead, they act like they're pushing this rhetoric from a place of sincere conviction. You call that person a shill. That's why you hear us using that phrase all the time. These people online with these sock puppet accounts who attack us, people who you see on TV attacking us, but they never bring us on to tell the truth, these are shills. They're doing it because they're getting paid. They certainly wouldn't be doing it if they weren't. And yes, we use the word shill a lot because there's a lot of them. White power has amassed trillions of dollars in unearned wealth and has used it to create and prop up entire constellations of sock puppets, sycophants, and shills to push their propaganda. Those of us on the front lines know this because we're their constant targets. And now, at least for some of these shills, we got a few of their names along with who's been paying them. Now understand something. This is not an exhaustive list. This is just one of many undercover political propaganda operations. There's plenty more. In fact, if you want to be honest, most, as in upwards of 80% of the people who these algorithms push at you are on the take. You know the black media is not on the take because we're all shadow banned. You don't get rich being an advocate for the poorest and most downtrodden people in the society. This is why you have all these so-called influencers out here who made bank being bootlicks and suck-ups, and you have a lot of black people who are trying to get in on the same scheme. When you see these people who attack us in the comment sections telling us that the Democrats have done nothing but good by us, these are people who are either already on the payroll or desperately trying to get on it. I told you about how Mehdi Hasan himself was trying to get hired by a right-wing newspaper in Britain back in the day. He talked about his Muslim upbringing, meaning that there was significant overlap between his religion and certain conservative beliefs. But of course, as we all know, Hasan wound up being hired by a left-leaning news operation instead, and he's been on that side of the political aisle ever since, so long as he doesn't have to criticize Islam. Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks is another example. He was and remains a staunch conservative, but Air America Radio gave him his first big break 20 years ago. Then he was on MSNBC for a while, so he pretended to be a progressive, except where black people are concerned. Then he and the rest of that pigsty he runs show their true colors. The late Ed Schultz, same thing. These people aren't hired guns, they're hired tongues. They'll shill for the highest bidder. Sure, they may agree with most if not all of what their paymaster is paying them to say, but it also means that they will never publicly go against what their paymaster wants. There's nothing wrong with having sponsors. There's nothing wrong with an online figure who makes good money either, or even becomes rich at what they do. The question, though, is what part does the money you get from sponsors have on your content? Now, if you say that it has no impact whatsoever, that's probably a lie. Donor dollars can either encourage you to do certain content or discourage you. Not all money is good money. It matters who you get the money from, especially if the interest of those sponsors and donors is diametrically opposed to the interest of your audience. And that brings us to the 1630 Fund and its DNC sock puppet scheme called Chorus. It's been revealed that this dark money group has been paying certain online influencers like David Pakman, who never saw an endorsement that he wouldn't take, up to $8,000 a month if they say what Chorus wants them to say. And what does Chorus want? They see all of these dissatisfied young voters who could be swayed to vote for the Democrats, except all these young folks are now online. They're not watching the DNC's TV and newspaper propaganda, and they want to influence these young people to vote the way they want them to, and they want it to get done anonymously. That's the first thing the Chorus contract states. The influencers who they recruit are not allowed to disclose their relationship with Chorus or the 1630 Fund, or functionally that they're being paid at all, and they're not allowed to reveal the identities of any of the funders. This is the definition of dark money, the very thing that has poisoned and destroyed what little chance there might have been for the public to influence public policy. They want any of these phony political commentators who they have in their program to funnel all of their bookings with lawmakers through Chorus. And if these content creators manage to get an independent meeting with this or that politician, they still have to make sure that Chorus is in the loop regardless. And they're also contractually bound not to make any content that supports or opposes any political candidate or campaign without Chorus's express written authorization in advance. Now that last part's kind of strange, isn't it? You're already not allowed to tell anybody that you're part of Chorus, as Wire reported a number of influencers had told them that the contract stipulated they would be kicked out of the program and cut off financially if they so much as acknowledged that they were part of Chorus. And yet, even with total anonymity, Brian Cohen and his pals still want to dictate to these content creators which candidates they're allowed to endorse or oppose, even though these influencers are prohibited from mentioning Chorus or the 1630 Fund to begin with. So under this Chorus organization, you can't tell viewers that you're mobbed up with these guys, a DNC front group, and they're not allowed to tell their viewers that they're getting paid at all or who the money's coming from. And depending on where you do it, they can even tell you what content you're allowed to post or not. So you have to give them control over what you do. That's not strings, family. That's a straitjacket. This is...
Yeah, I left the Animal Crossing and the music in the back. See how that comes out, you know what I mean? Just to switch up games and, you know what I mean? There it is. Like I said, I'm gonna put the full video link in the description so that y'all can, you know, go back and check it out if y'all really want to do some kind of homework, because it's all, you know, it's women unite, 92% let's unite, and then to just have a 10-second conversation and to hear how politically illiterate not the 92%, that most of the 92% are, like, you know what I mean? Miss Boulay, she's, you know, she's aware, but she has herself at a leadership position. It's where we get into, all right, we're still asking, what about the men? You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of tangibles are we going to get in order to build the community? Like, it's, you know what I mean? If it's all give it to her, 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 and we're seeing the negative effect of what men are going through. You know what I mean? It's so common, it's ridiculous. The Boy Scouts alone, right? It's there's no space for Boy Scouts. There's Girl Scouts, but like I said, I go and they selling popcorn. It's girls selling the popcorn now. You know, it is. You know, you say gay, that used to just meant boys, right? Like, you know, gay men. You know, lesbians was the girls. Now it's no, we're all can be gay, but then men can't be lesbians though, right or wrong? Like. Like, how are y'all just transing everything, you know? And then, you know, transing everything to they, them. And then it's like, well, they, them is a pronoun, but that's third party, right? It's he, she, third party. You know what I mean? It's he, she, it, third party. As soon as you say it, then you're talking non-binary or whatever, like, you know, he, she is binary. Stop. No. He is one, she is one. It has nothing to do with zero. Right now in Uhura home, 8:41 a.m. Tuesday, September 2nd. CJ is in town. Cool, I might sell some fish. All right. So, I mean, there it is. I'm just checking my prices and that's all I'm really doing. It's 20 minutes perfect. Yeah, check this game out. This is and that's who I have empathy more so than father son. It's father daughter, especially if it's not an intact family. That's not good, you know. Um, it's I laugh at the notion of what I mean some other guy raising my son. Like that's stupid to me. Like, you know what I mean. It is right, and that's where I got on Big C, because he was watching another dude discipline, you know what I mean, a boy for the mother, and I shared it on my page, and I had to like kind of whisper at him because he came on my page, like it was one of them reels, right, you know, and he was like, "Yo, see, that's what you gotta do with these young boys," and I just whispered him, "Dude, you don't know his father, yo." Right? His father might be greater than that, you know what I mean? Like, and that's not good. You don't know the father. You're basing the relationship of the boy and his mother with someone that you don't know. That's dangerous. So I'm imagining it with a little girl involved, right? Well, he's not going to discipline her or whatever. And then she's not allowed to lie about him touching her the wrong way, or smiling at her the wrong, or looking at her the wrong way. Right? Like, notice I said she's not allowed to lie. This is where we got to get on. We got to get y'all mental straight on just being able to tell the truth and understand the truth. Like, you hear the truth will set you free, right? I shared one the other day, changed it up a little bit, right? In a world full of lies, telling the truth is revolutionary. So yeah, this is a cool father-daughter game. It's 132. I paid one. I'm hoping it goes up. I do have access to the boys, so I can check the price on there and see if I can get the best deal this week. So there it is. There it is. I've said enough. Still not going to get it because we caught up in what is a shield still, or what is dark money, right? I'm talking about dark Messiah, that Yeshua, Jesus, the people of the Hebrews at that time were dark-skinned people, not this light-skinned movement that is going on now. Now, me saying that makes me anti-Semitic, and I shared that the other day with Tim Black, or that might have been Phil Scott, right? with the white guy complaining, saying that he's being called anti-Semitic, like, and it's funny because he mentioned Kanye, because it's like, oh, they create to call Kanye anti-Semitic, right? They call me that too. So and all I've been doing is saying, no, it's love God first, like one God, our Father, all the time. Hip hop, life, love one. God is love. Hip hop is life. Time is holy. Money, right? That, especially that dark money, right, is nothing more than a fourth dimensional illusion that really doesn't exist. The Democrats like to give it to you as long as you say that that's who you're voting for. You ain't got to tell nobody they gave it to you. All right. Whereas hip hop, true hip hop, is the art of making the most out of life. Be more economical with it, okay? 1. God is understood. Peace and happiness to you.